Rucksacks! These are all mine. I've purchased them with my own hard-earned monies. Some you may have seen on a video, some you may have seen a different colour variation on another video. But I thought I'd chat with you today about what I've got, why I bought them, and why they might be useful for you. I mean, as you can see, we've got a wide range of sizes, and I'll explain why I've got them as well. And they may be useful for you if you're looking at upgrading, changing, trying something different. And I will explain with each one a small review of them so you understand what they're all about, and obviously why I bought them and why I like using them. And I do use them all. So let's start with the smaller ones at the end, what I like to call day packs. Oh, for God's sake. So, 25 litre rucksack has been voted by a few people on famous YouTube channels as probably the worst rucksack you can buy. And I can understand where they're coming from with this one. I'll explain why. So it's from China, very cheap, and it's called a tactical Molle rucksack. Again, you can buy them in various different patches and colours. Patches? Patterns. But it's lovely and modular, and you can expand it out a lot as well. So as you can see, we have a clamshell section at the back, with a water bladder section with a pouch in the back. But if you put a water bladder in there, you're going to end up with no space on the inside because this goes directly onto your back. Another larger pouch in here with some smaller insert pouches, small utility pouch, and obviously somewhere to put your pens and pencils. The straps on this do not bind. You have to kind of double up just to get them to stay on. It does come with a waistband, but it is just this nylon webbing strap. And again, you've got to have a waist of less than 30 inches in order for it to fit you. So you don't really need it anyway. It's not the bigger pack. Adjustable straps. You can sit them where you want. You do have some D-rings there. I have added a little hook for a water bladder that will, as I say, if it's just a day pack, you just take some 2 litre, 3 litres of water, and then you've got some bits and pieces for inside. But this one is very fun, actually. It's light, and as I say, it is cheap. Second one in size, this is 35 litres, and it is the famous Swedish LK35. LK stands for litre kapacitet, which is litre capacity in English. 35 being the fact that it's 35 litres. Another example of Sweden's practical naming. Probably the most popular bushcrafting rucksack out there. Depending on where they are, depending on the cost of them. You can get them in canvas like this one, and you can get them in a modern nylon, which makes them a little bit lighter. It has a steel external frame, which makes it very modifiable. You can add so much onto it. As you can see, I've got myself a nice little waist pouch, a waist belt, or a kidney pack with pouches on there, Molle pouches on there as well. It's a very simple rucksack. It does have these nice little toggles here to loosen the straps when it's all nice and tight. Most of the weight of this rucksack sits on the base of your spine, so it's very easy to carry. And when you've got about 10 kilos of weight in there, it is, and upwards, it's perfect. It will carry more than 35 kilos, they're doing it again, aren't I? 35 litres, because you've got these very generous straps up the top. And you can put your bedroll on here, sleep system, or just another 35 litres worth of stuff, which I have done. I think I've got a wool sleeping bag, which is 40 litres, and this will hold it. Obviously it will kind of hang down. As I said, steel frame, external steel frame, with 2 nylon supports. There's one at the top and there is one behind this padding. So you've got a lot of breathability, so you can use this for long days, for hiking, although probably not the most practical for a hike, but definitely for out in the woods. This is very rugged. As I say, you can throw it around, it's very tough. It's just a bucket system, it's just a strange, slightly trapezoidal you know, slightly trapezoidal top, so it's larger at the top than it is at the bottom. So packing, you've got to be smart when you're loading this. Inside there is just one pouch that's the whole size of the back, which happens to fit perfectly, one of those little sit pads, so you can get a bit of extra cushioning, not that your back is ever going to touch it. Like I say, inside is just a bucket, very simple toggles for the loading, and again same thing for the top. And the binding inside, you've got a drawstring with a very interesting snow binder, which I have real trouble using. It does have a handle there, so you can hook it up to a tree, but obviously because of the frame you can do whatever you like with it. Right, this backpack is another one from China, another tactical Molle rucksack. They do vary in price, so you have to be careful when purchasing one of these, because the cheaper they are, the lower the quality. I kind of went for like a middle end, and the zips ended up snapping off, so I ended up putting some paracord on just to make them work. But yeah, this rucksack is very modular, best way I can explain it. Has a waist strap with Molle on there as well, sternum strap, and its original configuration is 55 litres. I have, because it's modular, I've purchased larger side pouches, so these ones that hold a water bottle are 1.5 litres, not including the extra bit there, so probably 2 litres. The action pack at the bottom is 5 litres. That is removable and comes with a belt, so you can have it as a day pack. You're not going to get much in there really, but this has got a pouch at the side, another pouch at the side, a pouch at the front, and in there is small pouches, and in here there's compartments as well. So this front larger pouch will hold a tarp and a hammock, to show how big it really is. And inside you have the main rucksack itself, and in there is a pouch at the back as well, so you can put a water bladder in there if you wanted to. Yeah, I mean, I can get pretty much everything I need for a camp in this one. 55 litres. Being PALS webbing, you can attach extra pouches, etc. to it. For example, I can't get my cook set in there, so that sits on there when I'm out as well. And obviously actually a bit lower, to be honest. And my one with my luxuries pouch that goes at the top or on the sides. Move that away. So these are the smaller pouches that were initially on the side. You can set them up there as well. Like I said, you can load this thing up. 20 kilos, no problems at all, and it is quite comfortable. There is a bit of padding on the back, but that's it, no framework. So if you're going to use this for a long hike, be prepared to sweat a bit on your back. So it's not the best piece of equipment in the winter time unless you've got some decent breathable clothing to keep you going. This is wool, so you have so the straps are pretty good. You've got quick release at the bottom because it's tactical, and the straps basically kind of go quite low down from the back, but they are bound at the top, so you get a very good fit. And yeah, I find this hilarious fun to use because you know where everything is all the time. So yeah, the tactical Molle rucksack. I can even put these pouches on the front here as well, so you can really load yourself up. So you could probably end up with about 70 litres if you really wanted to go for it. And like I said, you know where everything is because it's all in separate compartments. Anything else in there? Another one of the pouches. Oh, there's my luxuries pouch I just mentioned. Sorry. And you might have noticed all in the same pattern as well. For more variation of pouch sizes, go for the plain coloured ones, black or just olive green. But yeah, this is a great fun little rucksack. Oh, you do have compression straps at the side as well, so you don't have to fully load it. So yeah, another one of my favourites. Right, what's next? Another one of those famous army surplus rucksacks. This is commonly known as the Ludwig, or the Telemark rucksack. Originally designed in 1901, or the frame was patented in 1901. Again, another external rucksack, external frame rucksack, used by the Norwegian Army way through World War I and World War II, and on again, I don't know when, 60s, 70s, I don't know. Someone can probably tell me if they do know. If they're a military aficionado, that'd be nice to know actually. So I'm sure the Norwegian Army stopped at some point and went, now we're going to get something a bit more modern now. So yes, this rucksack is very simple, very basic, but incredibly comfortable. It is, again, 55 litre rucksack. The main compartment is just a compartment. It's very square and boxy. You have pouches on the side which will fit a 2 litre Nalgene bottle perfectly. So they're a 2 litre pouch. So I put my water. Also happens to fit my cook set in there nicely. So obviously I don't take the pouch because why? I've already got it in the pocket. But it's a very basic, very sturdy rucksack. So again, very popular with the bushcrafting community because it's a bit more. It gives you a bit more than the LK35 does. Again, comes in nylon and canvas. The canvas one weighs almost a kilo. It's 2.2 pounds more in weight than the nylon one, which I bought the nylon one because that was the only choice I had in the shop at the time. But yeah, military surplus. The straps are very thin leather. They're not even padded, it's just leather. Obviously designed to be worn in Arctic conditions where you would have a lot of padded clothing on the outside. Thanks to my mate Rickard, who you've probably seen another video of mine, we found these felt padded shoulder straps just to kind of make things a heck of a lot more comfortable. Especially when you have a lot of weight in here, it makes a huge difference. So let's get this off and talk you around it. So the pack itself has a external frame, but an interesting design. It's curved. All of the weight goes on this strap here at the base, which again on the base of your back, and it's a stainless. It's a stainless steel, probably steel external frame. As I said, there are 2 pouches on the side, which have a gap underneath where you can stow poles, ski poles or trekking poles. So, it is, as it's a very old design. If you're lucky to get them with the original top straps, again, depending on the size of the straps, depends on how much extra you can put on there. But this thing will take as much weight as you can carry. As I said, the leather on here is very tough. I believe it's reindeer hide or reindeer leather. Adjustment is very limited on this, and accessibility is very limited if you've got cold hands. So you have like a belt buckle style adjusters with holes down the strap for the shoulders, and it's the same for opening the backpack as well. It's just very simple belt buckle style, like very simple, very. So if you've got cold hands, it can be a little bit fiddly. You have a drawstring on the inside, very large lid, but it's not. It's lined, but it's not waterproof. The inside of the lid does have a small zip pocket, but you only put your keys in there, really. But yeah, incredible frame, incredible fun to wear. Once you've got these, if you do want to buy one of these, find yourself some padded shoulder straps for them. I highly recommend it. It makes a big difference. When I have carried 20 kilos with this, I believe it was autumn time, so I wasn't really wearing that many layers. But these straps start to cut into your shoulders, and it can get quite nasty. So yeah, the legendary Ludwig rucksack. 55 litres? Yeah, I said that. Next. As you can see, we're starting to go up in size. This rucksack is 65 litres to 85 litres, but you could probably drop it down 20 litres as well. Again, I have done a review on this already, which makes me think, if you want to see a full in-depth review of any of these rucksacks I'm talking about today, leave me a comment and I'll do my best to get round to it. So yes, the Bundeswehr mountain rucksack, 20 litre detachable pouches, or 10 litre pouches that are detachable, and they have a built-in shoulder strap so you can use it as a day pack. I will demonstrate that in a little while when I get to an even bigger rucksack, because that is famous for it. So yeah, so we have sternum strap, waist strap. It's Molle. You can buy this in PCLE or Molle, but you don't really need it. It's that bit much of a monster. So where are we? So this is modern. It's kind of like a copy of the Dutch Army Low Alpine Sting rucksack, but it's very much almost identical. But apparently this has a few features that the Low Alpine should have. It has an internal U-frame. Frame comes up. Very, very plush padding, variable back system, so it's adjustable. Padded kidney belt as well. Sway straps, 10 litre pouches, as I said, straps on the side there as well. You have a large compartment at the top for stowing. I believe that's about 5 litres. Apparently it's getting cold, it's frosty. You have a small skirt section there, which is zipped for accessibility. As I said, the pouches do come off, and you can turn it into a little 20 litre 2-compartment rucksack as well. So yeah, if you're going to go out and you're going to start carrying some heavier loads or bigger things, you're going to start needing to go a bit larger. So this one is a good option because, as I said, you can remove the pouches, you haven't got to take them with you. So what you'll end up with is a 40 to 60 litre rucksack, basically. As I said, there's a skirt at the bottom there. What's else inside is just rucksack. It's just a hollow end. I believe there is an inside pocket in this as well. As I say, this is the PCLE one, so you can put extra containers and things on the side. And that's PALS webbing, obviously, for putting more pouches. Very, very comfortable. You can actually go hiking in this one as well. I think it weighs about 4.5 kilos, 4.5 kilos. It's about 10 pounds in weight. So it's a marriage of military style and a hiking backpack as well. So you've got that, but it's got the tougher, heavier 600D, 600 Dernier, I believe, Cordura nylon, which is fairly waterproof. I'll say water resistant. The next rucksack solves that problem. And what's in it, I recommend everybody buy for their rucksacks anyway, especially if they're going out and it's changeable weather. But yeah, this is a great rucksack. Have fun with this one. I have 2 of them, many different colours, because one does like to coordinate. So, but yeah, the BW mountain rucksack, 65 to 85 litres. Do apologise. Another military surplus piece of equipment that is quite often referred to as bomb-proof. It is the British Bergen. A very interesting piece of equipment, this one. Issued in 1982 to the updated armed forces when they had the Falklands conflict. This rucksack is quite often misrepresented on some videos I've seen, so I want to get rid of that problem to start with. This does not sit on your hips. It's designed to have, it's 110 litres. Obviously there was an inflatable bag in there, but it's gone down. It will sit very high once it's fully loaded. It will take as much weight as any soldier can carry. And they will quite commonly carry at least 120 pounds in weight, or 50 kilos. And in some cases up to 80 kilos. That's nearly 200 pounds. And this rucksack will take it all day long. You won't, but it will go, yeah, whatever. It is a monster. It was designed to take the main compartment is just one giant empty compartment. I'm sorry the bag's collapsed. Designed to take the winter sleep system. So it's the full 3 sleeping system designed for -40. This is the short back version. You can tell 1, 2, 3, 4 ribs at the back. These are heavily padded. Inside here is a 3-piece internal frame that is curved to go around the top of your spine to help support. It's very strange when it's on, because you feel like you're going to fall over when you're just kind of relaxing, but when you're actually walking or even going at a pace, and even to the point of running, it's very stable. It doesn't have sternum straps. It just has very thick, very comfortable shoulder straps. Very short kidney pads at the side. A lot of soldiers will remove this because it's almost useless. If you haven't got if you've got your webbing system, which you've got around your waist, basically, this will then sit on top of it as support. So you don't really need these in a military environment. So where were we? Yes, as I said, it is very big inside. You've got your standard plastic clips to open with a snow skirt. Even though it is 1000 Cordura and has a rubberized lining, it's still not 100% waterproof. So you can buy the rucksack liner, again British Army surplus, for pennies almost, and this is waterproof and airtight. So you can basically put your things into this, put this basically into this cavernous hole of a rucksack, and you know you're going to be completely waterproof. There's a pocket on the inside for putting your keys and information. Large pocket at the top, which has a zip at the side for access, so somebody else can access it, and if you're very dexterous you can actually get to the pack yourself on the side. Yeah, snow skirt, drawstring, standard stuff with a pull cord. The side pouches would hold your, again these are a 10 litre detachable pouches that will turn into a day pack. These ones are a little bit different because they're also held on with zips and small buckles as well. The buckles will double up as for connecting to turning into a day pack. Unlike the Dutch Army one, you actually have to have a yoke for it. So, oh, the pack also comes in 2 colours: olive green for the commandos and the camouflage, the DPM, disruptive passive material, which is the standard one. You might notice mine's a lot darker because I've dyed it just to make it a bit more personalised. But this comes in the backpack, 20 litre thing. This is your day pack system, and it comes with its own tiny little backpack. This is called a yoke. But it does make things a little bit easier and more comfortable to carry than just when you've got them zipped together and 2 little straps. Whatever. So again, that's another day pack, 20 litres. In that way. Right. Believe it or not, the Bergen is very modifiable. There is a company in Britain, not sponsored by them, not being paid to say their name, but you need to, if you love this rucksack and you want to use it because you can, because the pouches are detachable, but you want to make it a bit more personalised. The company is called Dixie's, and they modify the Bergen to very different ways. This is another example of what is available. This is called the hip pad, or the hippo as the soldiers call it, and it literally is just a support belt that goes around so you can have extra padding on your waist as well. But this is actually for the webbing, which is what I use it for. Okay, so you can see the difference in colours. There's the original and there's mine, so I just dyed it black. So yeah, 110 litres fully loaded, and it does sit very high. I'll see if I can drag a picture of some of the soldiers wearing them because it's phenomenal. Very, very tough. Excellent value for money at a beginner, but if you're going to be doing this a lot, be careful. But it's a good budget starter. There is a pouch at the front that's designed for the entrenching tool, but you can fit a mess kit in there as well. So, right, one more and then a bonus. Probably the largest rucksack I own. The French Foreign Legion F2, maybe F3 rucksack. Debatable whether it's 120 litres or 110 litres maximum capacity. I can believe both. Very, very, very modern in comparison to the British Bergen. You've got to think that design is what, nearly, well, it's over 40 years old now. They have updated it, so it would be nice to see what the new version of the Bergen looks like, but the pictures I've seen are not much changed. Not much has changed. So yeah, huge rucksack, 600 denier rucksack. We have a rubberized base, so you can put it on the floor when it's all wet, and very, very waterproof at the base. very modern rucksack. Extremely thick padded shoulders, variable. My gosh, it's getting frosty. So we have adjustable back system as well, so you can get it to fit as good as possible. You have sway straps, you have load bearers, you even have little handles just to kind of stick your wrists in while you're walking. Pockets on the hip pouch as well. On the other side you can have more a belt dangling off or something. Again, this is a military issue jobby. So from here to here is one compartment, and the bottom piece is waterproof. This is where you put like your sleeping bag and things you don't want to get wet. There is a pouch at the front here, but behind it is another set of zips that you can open up and access the whole rucksack without having to take off the top, which for just grabbing something, it's really, really nice because it is just a large bucket in there as well. The side pouches are both 10 litres each, and as mentioned earlier, they are detachable with shoulder straps. So you can turn that into a day pack rucksack. One of the pouches, I believe both of them, no, one of the pouches has an extra pouch on the side and a little grommet so you can have a water bladder in there as well. So you could have 10 litres of water on one side of you. I'm not quite sure what you'd pack on the other side just to balance yourself out. But yeah, this is quite expensive. I bought this new. This is the French woodland camouflage. And very good. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to take about the same sort of weight as the British Bergen. You're looking at 60 kilos or 200 pounds or something. It has an external frame instead, which is detachable if you really wanted to. I'm not quite sure if you can see there, but on the side of the back there you have an aluminium, I believe it's aluminium anyway, detachable frame which goes all the way down to the base, and that's curved as well to help kind of support your spine. Inside there is also another bladder pouch. There's a pocket there, another grommet there. The top of the rucksack does have its own waterproof cover as well. So you just undo this zip and you have a waterproof cover as well, just for waterproofing. As I said, the pouch has a pocket on as well, the Synexis pocket as well. This one's PALS webbing, but you can get it with Molle, with PLCE as well. Great carry straps, front and back. Yeah, fun rucksack. If you're going to carry some big stuff, I recommend this one over the British Bergen. But the price of the Bergen is much lower than this one as well, so it's, you know. So yeah, that's most of them. And now for the bonus rucksack. This is very retro, isn't it? This is obviously a retail hiking backpack for mountaineering or whatever. My god, it sits high. It has a lightweight aluminium external frame, no sternum strap, nice thick padded gadyards, and a belt strap with a bit of kidney padding as well. As you notice, there is this ginormous hole at the bottom. Inside one of the pouches is another bag, the same as the rest of the rucksack, and that's where you're going to put your sleeping bag and your sleep system, and that would sit basically down here, and the rest of your backpack will be up the top, which is quite strange because then you've got all the heavy stuff up high, which isn't really good for your centre of balance, in my opinion. But obviously it's been a very common design for a while. Plus, me being a little short fella, this will probably sit a lot lower on your back. But as I say, it's on my waist, so it looks like it's all the way up there somewhere. The reason I bought this is not because I needed it or wanted it, it's because I got it in a second-hand store and it was so cheap. It was stupid of me not to buy it because inside it had two thick 1-inch foam bed rolls. 1-inch thick foam bedroll? Yeah, that's probably a better way of putting it. And it was actually cheaper to buy the rucksack with those in it than to buy 2 of those bedrolls on its own. So I've got one in there at the moment, just kind of padding things out a little bit. But it has very simple straps. The buckle system on this is quite unique, but you've got your standard pull loops. As I say, a very large aluminium frame. The sun's starting to go down. It's 3 o'clock. So there we are. So they've got aluminium frames. This is incredibly light. You have a pouch at the front, as I mentioned, and it's just a big hole. There is a pouch at the side and a pouch at the other side. I'm putting your bits and pieces. It's a classic hiking rucksack, this one. So a bit of nostalgia. What is interesting though is to close the backpack, you have a drawstring that just goes around the whole top. And there's the bedroll. So I guess if you've got big thick gloves on, it's quite easy to open and close this one in the winter time. But it's yeah, it's a classic. It's got a frame rucksack, I think they called them, didn't they? Yeah, a bit of fun, that one. So yeah, thanks for watching all this way through. I hope you found this interesting, even slightly entertaining. As I said earlier, if there is any of those rucksacks you want me to talk about in more detail, please let me know. I'm quite happy to do it, as long as I can get around to doing it if I've got the time. But yeah, you've got rucksacks going from 25 litres all the way up to 120 litres there. And obviously you can get a 15 litre rucksack or a 10 litre rucksacks for like a day walk or small backpacking. But yeah, they're the rucksacks that I use when I go out in the forest. And depending on the time of year, obviously, and what I'm carrying, and depending on which rucksack is going to be the best and most practical for me. But my personal favourites are all of them. That's rude, isn't it? Yeah, I enjoy them all for different reasons. The modern modular ones are great for packing everything in and knowing where everything is separately, because you can just go straight to it. The larger rucksacks with the big cavernous ones are kind of a bit of old school and a bit of nostalgia. The military ones you'll find are a lot stronger and will take a lot more abuse than these modern lightweight ones, because they're designed for different purposes. And one's designed for rolling around in the mud, the other one's designed for basically keeping things as light as possible. So bear that in mind when you're making your purchases as well. But I like the military stuff because of its durability, and I'm a bit of a klutz and quite happily fall over everywhere. So having a tough little rucksack is always useful for me, something you can just brush off the dirt with. So yeah, thanks again, and yeah, put some comments, good or bad, I don't mind. Be abusive if you like, I don't mind. It's always fun to read, but not be too abusive because YouTube will get upset with it. Yeah, so thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.